Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Over 2,000 subscribers and growing very rapidly. This has been an amazing, fun initiative here with Locked On Sports Atlanta. I'm so happy to be part of it, and I'm so happy that you guys are taking part in it as well. Continue to spread the love. Tell all your friends about where to find us and the great shows that we have here, including ATL Day Ones with Jarvis Davis, Nisa Batiste, Hitting Hard with John Chuckery, our Braves postcast after every Braves post game, Locked On Falcons and Locked On Hawks, all right here at Locked On ATL. And give us a follow on Twitter at Locked On ATL. And of course, I'm at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno. This segment brought to you by our good friends at BlueNile.com. Let's get to the Atlanta Falcons, as a couple of notable names showed up early to training camp. Because remember, only the rookies are supposed to be there at this point in time. But Chris Lindstrom reported early to camp, and some guy named Deion Jones reported to camp here early, even though he's on the pup list. Even though he's probably not going, he's not going to be in the actual part of practice. He'll probably be working out on his own off to the side. But nonetheless, interesting to note that he did show up early, which is probably counter to what I would have thought, given the circumstances. I would have assumed that he would have sort of not done anything extra, if you will, knowing he's likely not going to be here at some point in time here in the very near future, that he's probably not part of this team's plans. But, maybe it's the big thing is for him now is to show everybody he can get off the pup list and possibly get out of town sooner rather than later and be with the team by week one. Maybe that's part of the plan. Who knows? I'm not 100% sure at this point in time, but it was certainly an eyebrow raiser. It was great to see Cordero Patterson back at Falcons camp. Nice, he drove up in one of them, what do you call those, slingshot things, the things with the two wheels in the front, the one wheel in the back that sits real low to the ground that everybody drives in. So he had a banged up campaign last year, but he is back at camp early. Looks like he's ready to go. I thought that was pretty cool. And so a lot of veterans are returning early. Now, one former Falcon name that's popped into the news here in the last 24 hours was Julio Jones, who signed a deal with none other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, as if Tom Brady didn't need any more help. Now, look, I know Falcons fans are going to quickly resort to he's old, he's banged up, he's not as productive as he normally was, he takes plays off, blah, blah, blah. I get it. And I'm not saying you're wrong for having any of those reactions. But the idea of Julio Jones with Tom Brady still, even if, I'm thinking back to 2015, it's still pretty awesome. Like it still feels like it's going to be pretty awesome. That said, with the Falcons having such meager expectations and it not really being a super rival type thing, I'm almost kind of hoping that he has a good season in Tampa. I'd love to really see him play as much as he can play with a high level quarterback like Tom Brady. That to me, I think, feels like it would be a little bit fun. But again, I'm probably in the minority there. If you have a Bucks future ticket to win the Super Bowl, you're probably pretty happy right now that he might be on it. And that's the thing. Look, I mean, would anybody really be mad at this point if either Julio Jones or Matt Ryan won a Super Bowl with another team? Like after all they did for the Falcons, after all that they were to this organization, can you really be mad at Julio and or Matt for going out and winning a title with another team? I can't. I wouldn't be that way. I mean, I'm not that kind of petty anymore as a fan where I like root against players or anything like that. I know some people do. It's just not my cup of tea. So as well, I genuinely do. And if you want me to say, I hope he does well, just except for the 2 times he plays the Falcons. But it will be interesting to see. I think this is really cool to see, by the way. Julio against AJ Terrell. Even older Julio going up against AJ Terrell could be a matchup that's worth watching. Just saying. Think about it. Something else I want you to think about is BlueNile.com. If you guys are looking for jewelry, there's 2 ways you guys are typically looking for jewelry. 1, engagement rings. 2 is fine jewelry, that perfect gift. Well, if you're ready to pop the question or you're just looking for a gift to celebrate that milestone moment, go to BlueNile.com. Blue Nile for engagement rings has online tools that let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. And Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her a perfect engagement ring. Each one is one of a kind. But if you're looking for fine jewelry, that gift, or a special way to say I love you, you're not sure what to do or have trouble choosing, Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7, available via phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every budget. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Locked On Sports listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement rings. Use code Locked On. That's Locked On. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and is in discreet packaging, so it won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free. Find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today. One of the other interesting things that came out, and we talked a little bit yesterday about the position battles in camp and everything else, and where they're going to go. And obviously, we'll continue to look at all eyes on Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota and everything else. But I not to go all fashion on you guys, but I thought this was worthwhile, interesting. I don't know if you saw that there are going to be a total of is it 12 different teams or 13 different teams that are going to be wearing alternate colored helmet uniforms, alternate colored helmets this year. And some of them are actually really cool. Like some of them I like. Look, for me, you can get rid of all of the black helmets, right? Like I am not Arizona Cardinals, Jets, Panthers, Saints, the all black helmets. Like you can keep them. They do nothing for me. That's just me. Like I agree. It doesn't really. And the Eagles have an all black. I think those are bad. The Cowboys are actually going to have two different. One's going to be a throwback helmet, and the other one's going to be like an alternate color. So one will be white, and the other one will be the throwback helmet that they wore, I think, from the 60s or 70s, what it will. The Giants are going to go back to their uniforms from the 80s and 90s when they won their first two Super Bowls with the word Giants on the side of their logo. Houston Texans is going to have a red helmet. I think that's cool. That one looks real good. That, to me, was good. Patriots are going to go back to Pat the Patriot, the little football Revolutionary War guy on the side of the helmet that they used to wear in the 80s and early 90s. Those uniforms are hot. Too bad the team is going to stink. The Eagles are actually going to go back to the old like Randall Cunningham days green and that logo on the helmet. I think that's cool, but they're not doing that until 2023. It looks like. So they'll wait another year. And of course, yes, I didn't leave them out. I wouldn't leave them out. The Falcons are going back to their red helmets with the bird on the side. And I think that to me is something, again, I truly enjoy. I don't know how much I need the gold stripe to harken Georgia Tech and the red for Georgia, like whatever. I mean, I'm sure that's nice. I just really like the old style that the original 66 Falcons had. And it's going to look cool. No matter what the outcome of that game is, I think it's going to look cool on the sidelines for them. By the way, the Bears, too, are going to go to orange helmets for one game. They do those orange uniforms sometimes, and I'm like, I mean, the helmet doesn't look bad. If you found it online, it doesn't look terrible. I don't think it's the worst one out there. I think the Texans red looks sweet. I think the orange for the Bears are going to be okay. And of course, the white helmets for the Cincinnati Bengals. Those things are going to look good. But I hope the Bengals do the white helmets with the orange uniforms. I don't want to do like the all white thing. Getting too Oregon-ish, if you will, with that. Don't need like an all white uniform. This ain't Wimbledon, man. It's football. So let's see what happens. But just some notes again before we get to training camp. Obviously, again, as this week will be a little bit slow with the Falcons at training camp, it'll pick up next week when the veterans get back in. They start practicing. As I said, I'll be out there this coming Saturday at training camp. So if you see me, stop by, say hello. I'll be broadcasting live from there for 92.9 The Game. And I'd love to see you guys out there, snap some photos, talk some Falcons. We'll do it all this coming Saturday on the 29th. All right, coming up next, some scheduling quirks. Quirks isn't the right word. Some scheduling notes that are of importance for the college football season coming up. Georgia fans, you'll like what I have to say. Georgia Tech fans, you won't. That's coming up next right here on A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta.